Are you looking for an athletic scholarship? You're in the right place. This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, the longest-running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. We're here to help your family navigate the recruiting road all the way to an athletic scholarship. He's a recruiting expert and a dad of 2 college athletes. He has a wealth of experience to share. Here's Recruit Me CEO, Brent Hanks.
Welcome to episode 488 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. As the introduction said, my name is Brent Hanks, the owner of Recruit Me LLC and the host of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. Recruit Me is an athletic recruiting education business. You can go to the recruit-me.com website, where you can not only get new and past the Athletic Scholarship Podcast episodes for free, but you can get the free Recruiting Power Pack and the free Recruit Me monthly newsletter. Also on the recruit-me.com website, you can get access to the Recruit Me 3.0 Athletic Scholarship System. For a small investment of only $39, you will be emailed a PDF file that includes a 200-plus page recruiting manual and workbook, along with 3 helpful worksheets: the Parameters Worksheet, the College School List Worksheet, and the College Research Worksheet. So right after you finish listening to this episode and sharing this episode, go to the recruit-me.com website. Today's episode is inspired by an episode of the College Recruiting Weekly podcast, hosted by Dan Tudor. Mr. Tudor has Tudor Collegiate Strategies and is a nationally recognized recruiting strategy expert and author and speaker. He teams up with college coaches and athletic departments across the country to implement smarter, more effective recruiting techniques and messaging plans. He works with colleges to help with their recruiting process. You can go to his website at dantudor.com. I listen to the College Recruiting Weekly podcast to learn more about how college coaches see the recruiting process and to hear about different sports and levels so that I can help high school student athletes to prepare for their recruiting journey. The episode I'm going to review today was published on December 2nd, 2025, and is episode 217 of the College Recruiting Weekly podcast, and is named Lessons from an Athletic Director Who Also Advises Rising Prospects. This episode is an interview with a college athletic director and college women's basketball coach, Keith Mondillo. He is employed by Gwynedd Mercy University, an NCAA Division III college in Gwynedd Valley, Pennsylvania. Along with his athletic director and coaching responsibilities, Mr. Mondillo has taken on an athletic recruiting coaching business, Keith Mondillo Athletic Recruiting Coaching, at the keithmondillo.com website. Recruit Me and I have no affiliation with either Dan Tudor or Keith Mondillo. I just listened to this particular episode, and much of the interview reflected mine and Recruit Me's recruiting philosophies. As I listened, I felt like the interview's information reinforced most of Recruit Me's philosophies and ideas, and centered around a student athlete sending an educated email to colleges and college coaches. Having the student athlete telling the coaches that they are interested in their program and that just playing your sport well won't guarantee a college coach will just find you. So let's look into the interview between Dan Tudor and Keith Mondillo. When Tudor asked Mondillo how he decided to get into the recruiting coaching world along with his athletic director and basketball coaching responsibilities, Mondillo said that he was getting the same questions from high schoolers and their families over and over again. Here's what Mondillo said. I was getting the same questions over and over. How do I get a hold of a college coach? When do I start emailing? How do I do this? And how do I do that? So he got into the direct helping of student athletes by wanting to help with the basics. Recruit Me has said that we are here to help answer the when to start, the how to start, and the how to get recruited questions. Recruit Me feels that there are 2 times that are the best times to start your recruitment. The first is as you enter your freshman year of high school. This is because it gives you plenty of time to learn and prepare for your recruitment. And also your GPA starts day 1 of high school. A majority of scholarships are connected with academics more than athletic scholarships. Plus, good academics can get you an advantage over other recruits. The second best time is now, today. Don't put it off. Now, the earlier you start gives you time to learn and plan. The later you start, even your junior or senior years of high school, you still need to learn and plan. Don't shortcut, but you need to speed up your process. Recruit Me's first 4 steps in the Recruit Me 3.0 system are about researching and preparing for the right time for you to contact college coaches. Step number 1 of the Recruit Me 3.0 system is select the right schools to contact. Step 2 is to write a great introductory email. Step 3 is to create your one-sheet player profile. And Step 4 is build your own recruiting questionnaire. By doing these steps and preparing the college school list, the introductory email, and the player profile and the questionnaire, you are learning about recruiting. And as Mondillo said in this interview, you are learning the recruiting language. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast, episode 218, has many of these recruiting terms and definitions to help you. Mondillo also ID'd more common questions that come up. When do I reach out? How do I get in contact with the college coach? And what do I say? RecruitMe teaches you that there are two best times to contact college coaches. The first is when they contact you. You need to be ready with prepared and thought-out responses and information. Your first contact is like your first handshake. You need to make a good first impression. Having your introductory email and player profile ready when you hit the recruitable stage is essential. How do you know when you've reached that recruitable stage? RecruitMe feels that there are two good indicators. Number 1, if a college coach contacts you, and number 2, when your player profile is filled with college-level information. Information about you like size, speed, strength, vertical, velocity, GPA, test scores, stats, videos, and high-level competition at both the high school and club or off-season. For some student athletes, this may be in their sophomore year of high school. For some, not until their junior year. Also, your player profile may fit the NAIA or Division III level at first, and then develop into a D2 or D1 level. That is why you need to consistently update your emails and your profile. Mondillo in this interview said that student athletes and parents ask him, when do I reach out? And how do I get in contact with the college coach? And he, with a little sarcasm, says there is this new thing called email. He said to draft an email. Say that you're interested in their program and why you are interested and why you fit their university and college team. And then you send it. RecruitMe's main push to student athletes is to prepare and write an email and put together a player profile and send those to a research list of colleges and college coaches. I think, much like Mondillo, that people overlook the power of emailing a coach directly. Yes, the coaches get a lot of emails, but by sending a well-crafted, personalized, and informative email, plus the metric-riddled player profile, you can separate yourself from other recruits and get a college coach's attention. Also, there are other communication tools available and are more popular like text, DMs on social media, and emails, and even snail mail can help separate you from others. So RecruitMe and Coach Mondillo agree on the email method. Mondillo says there are other ways to get on a coach's radar. The get on the coach's radar is a RecruitMe term since 2002. And he says to move up on college lists, but email is the basic way how most recruiting journeys should start. Myth number 1 of 10 about recruiting in the RecruitMe 3.0 system is, if my child is good enough, the college coaches will find him or her. Here's what Mondillo had to say about just playing and they will find you. He mentioned a large facility near him that hosts many basketball tournaments with approximately 30 courts. He continued that if you think a college coach is going to find you on court number 26 at 8 a.m., you're mistaken. How are they going to know that you are there? Well, you would send them an email saying, I'm playing on court 26 at 8 a.m. We have blue uniforms and I'm number 24. Would you like to come and watch me play? And then give your basic information on yourself. Both of my sons found their college home and team by emailing coaches and inviting them to watch them play. Actually, they both got more offers emailing coaches and inviting them to an ID camp or asking for an opportunity to visit their office or campus. Parker, my older son, ended up at Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois, and he pitched for the Wildcats for 4 years. I will always say that there is no way that Northwestern University ever finds Parker Hanks in Southwest Missouri without Parker emailing the head coach and the pitching coach and inviting them to a showcase in Joliet, Illinois. Sutton, my younger son, is now at Columbia College, an NAIA school in Columbia, Missouri, and is in his senior year and plays outfield for the Cougars. By emailing 3 coaches, he got 3 offers after going to showcases and meeting with the coaches. His super speed and overall athletic ability fit those schools. The host of the interview and podcast, Dan Tudor, brought up that many student athletes and families think that they are at the D1 level. Mondillo said that if you are a legit D1 prospect, that they, the coaches, will know who you are, but that is a maybe 2% of student athletes. Dan said many times that D1 or bust delays or presents a loss in process to take place. Lower level coaches get ignored. The interview is directed at helping college coaches. This interview that I am reviewing is directed at helping college coaches, but it gives you an insight into the recruiting process. The advice for both the college coach and to the student athlete is not to burn any bridges and allow the ladder of interest to work its way through. Mondillo later states that he has told students, recruits, that they should ultimately look at every level. You may work your way up the ladder to a D2 or a D1, or from a mid-major to a P4. But if it doesn't work, you can make a good fit decision at a junior college, NAIA, Division III, or Division II level. Mondillo has asked recruits to make his school their official backup school. Do you have an official backup school? Recruit Me feels that the D1 or bust is a problem and a concern. The goal of Recruit Me and Step 7, the last step of the Recruit Me 3.0 system, is to make your school choice wisely. All the first 6 steps lead you to the most likely right choice. All the work a student athlete and a family does in Step 1 in the research will help point them to contacting the right schools at the right level, at the right time. Remember, earlier in this episode, I said the student athlete wants to make a good first impression. Many times, if you send your information to a D1 or levels higher than your profile reflects, then you are not going to make a good first impression. Parker, my older son, ended up at a P4 conference college, but I would consider Northwestern a mid-major type of baseball program, year in and year out. Parker found his level as he started his junior year of high school. After a successful sophomore year of high school and an even better summer, he got invited for an official visit to a high-level Division II baseball school in Lubbock, Texas, Lubbock Christian. Their pitching coach at that time was from Ozark originally, which is our hometown, and his brother was a baseball coach and a wrestling coach at Ozark. The official visit ended by Lubbock Christian's coaches offering Parker a full-ride scholarship, part academic and part athletic. We were not expecting that offer, as we were new to the recruiting world. Before Parker and I left Lubbock, Parker told them thank you, and that this was his first visit and offer, and that the family would discuss the offer on the 13-hour drive home. As Parker and I drove home, we realized that the offer told Parker what level he was at that time, a high-level Division II, which could also put him in a D1 mid-major level, even before he played his junior season. From there, we developed some parameters of wants and needs and developed a college school list based on those parameters. His college school list included a couple of D3 colleges, a couple of D2 colleges, and both mid-major and high-level D1 colleges. The official visit and the D2 offer set Parker on a road to his targeting of colleges that fit him both academically and athletically. Our family benefited from the help of Parker's coaches' connections, and we also benefited from understanding where the offer put Parker on colleges' radars. Start at the lower levels and build up if you keep getting attention. Also, as the interview continues, Mondillo lays out a typical recruiting time frame as directed by the college coaches. Most first have to re-recruit their own eligible players because of the popularity of the transfer portal. Then they go to junior college and then to high school students. This process puts delays not only on high school recruiting, but also transfers to the junior college, NAIA, Division III, and Division II recruiting to fill their rosters. The interview mentioned that in January of 2025, there were 3,000 Division I football players in the transfer portal. 3,000 footballers divided by 350 Division I colleges means that there is an average of 8.5 transfers per Division I football team. Some teams will have more and some will have less, but that is a bunch of transfers. Here is a question. Are you better than a D1 transfer? Understanding the landscape of college sports and recruiting will help to decrease some anxiety and to help you make a good, right-fit decision for yourself. To wrap up this episode and the review of this interview, here's a little bit more information from the interview. Tudor mentioned that when they interview college student athletes, they say that the student athletes did not fall in love with their place of choice until after they got there and started to experience team and school things. And also, Mondillo says that college coaches need to show student athletes what they can offer academically, athletically, and socially. And does that fit the student athlete's goals and needs? Both of these final points are revealing in that there is not always going to be a perfect fit, and most college athletes struggle early and then find their way to integrate into the team and the college. Also, two factors that help are either playing for a winning team or getting playing time. And then, if the advice is to the college coach, is to fit their recruiting pitch to the student-athlete's goals and needs, then the potential student-athlete needs to know what some of their wants and needs are. This can be done by using the Recruit Me 3.0 system worksheets. Thank you for listening to episode 488 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. And thank you to Dan Tudor and Coach Keith Mondillo for a very informative interview and podcast. Please join me next Tuesday for another episode of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast, the world's longest running recruiting education podcast.